Hello everyone and welcome. Hope y'all are doing amazing today. All right, so today we got like three topics to discuss. As you can see, like the first topic, it's going to be about what's going on with the Cashio exploit reimbursement, the entire process. We'll share some data around that. And the second topic, it's going to be about like, why do we need to actually rethink decentralization and what it means, like this word regulated crypto, this term, what does it actually mean and why it's like crucial for the industry, and also we'll be taking a look at the bigger picture. Okay, we'll be comparing like Amazon versus Bitcoin, and we'll just look at the bigger macro picture about the entire market, how I feel about this, and so on and so forth. Okay, sure, we'll be sharing thoughts around all of this. So let's jump right in. Okay, so let's get to the Cashio reimbursement. So as you're aware, just a quick TLDR, if you've watched my previous video, I've touched on that. Like I was, a victim of this exploit and I got wrecked. And also like, due to like various bottlenecks within the community and the teams who were actually responsible to take care of the exploit, there was none. Okay, so Saint, Eclectic, and I had to actually stand up for the community and get things done, like the entire processes and coordinate that across different teams. Okay, but why did we actually choose to do that? We didn't choose to do that. We lost our own funds and we had to get it back. That was the main intention. Okay, and um, if you have been following the exploit process and what's been going on, you're pretty aware that March 23rd was the exploit, and 5 days after, because 5 days we were just like, messaging and trying to communicate with different parties and teams within Discord and other places, other channels, privately and like publicly. And 5 days after the exploiter, as you can see, the Cashio exploiter sent a message on chain mentioning this, so basically they mentioned here, all the accounts below like 100,000 was refunded, and they are willing to accept or move forward with a refund process for the other victims. So since, like I mentioned, there was like a lot of bottlenecks, and the explorer mentioned over here myself and Sant Eclectic to lead the organization, and that's what we have been doing so far. And he also mentioned the entire process, like how to go ahead and actually fill out the form, the refund form, and so on and so forth. So based on this information that the explorer sent us, what we went ahead and did is we coordinated, and a few community devs like Wireless Anon, you had like Levi Cook, also helping us to build out this website. It was very community led, and also then the team came in and built out this refund website. Okay, and the same message which was on chain is mentioned over here, as you can see. So basically, this was like, then you had to go ahead and just take all this information and then start filling out or start sharing the information, so that we and the team could verify that those claims are actually valid. Okay, so that's what they had to do. They had to sign the process, the message with their Phantom wallet or any Solana wallet, to make sure they own the wallet itself, and they control and they were the person who signed the message. So you get it. Okay, but anyways, then they had to go ahead and just download the signed message which was in a text file, and then they had to go ahead and fill out this form, as you can see over here, with the Solana address, and then go ahead and attach the form to this, and then go ahead and submit it. Once they do that, we would receive the submissions, and after that we would manually review it, and then automatically also it was reviewed through on-chain data and stuff like that. Okay, which the team was able to help with all those, because like we don't have access to the IT and all the code base and so on and so forth. But we were very involved within the whole project, the unexpected project, that's what I call it. But nevertheless, so that was the entire process and a TLDR. But after that, the hacker actually or the exploiter actually started refunding by batch. Okay, so the batch one, as you can see over here, like, I did an analysis. I'm going to share all the links that we discussed within the video in the description, so make sure to check that out. But anyways, there was like batch one, there was batch two, and this analysis is done by me based on like the data, what the team already compiled. I'll just show it in just a moment, just to double check and cross verify it myself. Okay, that's why I did the whole analysis, and even Sam did the same, and he posted a lot of content on Twitter based on all of this. All right, so there was batch one, there was batch two, and there was, at the moment where we are, we sent the third message. If you scroll to the bottom, you will see the third message has already been sent. So we are basically negotiating with the exploiter on chain via on chain message, saying that, hey, give us back like 10K of the Ethereum. And this is the exploiter's address. If you go ahead and look that up on chain, you will see there's approximately like 11,522 Ethereum right now in that wallet, and you will see that marked here. Okay, so just go to Etherscan and just search for like Cashio like this, and you would get the wallet. All right, so you'd see like exploit and high tags also into it. But anyways, so 11,522 ETH, we are requesting the exploiter to return us back like 10K Ethereum, and then 1522 Ethereum as a white hat bounty. And also, there won't be any legal charges, and we'll drop all of that, and there won't be any further investigation. As I mentioned in my previous video, that there is, law enforcement who's actually on it, and we are willing to drop all of that by him or her or them, taking a white hat bounty of like 1522 Ethereum, not dollars. Okay, and this is like 10K each. Just return it back to the community's multi-sig wallet, because we transferred the authority of messaging from Ghost Chain to the community itself. Why? And that's why we sent out a message saying that, hey, a multi-sig address has been created. A multi-sig address is basically, if you're not aware, it's like there are multiple people within the community who is in charge, and they all need to approve. So let's say in a multi-sig wallet there are like 6 people or 6 signers. So that means 4 out of the 6 signers or the people would need to actually approve each and every transaction that goes out from that wallet, or each and every transaction that's happening in that wallet. They need to agree upon. So that's a much more decentralized way, and you can do all of this through. We are doing it through Gnosis Safe. It's a Ethereum. Sort of like a multi-sig software to set this up, and we have been doing this. So that's why we mentioned this on chain over here, just to validate, and just to make it clear, and also to signal to the explorer that this is confirmed, and this is by the community itself. Okay, so that's what you can see over here. If you just click on this, you will go to the Ethereum Etherscan, like the transaction. You can see these messages. It's just like snapshot. So that's where we are with the refund process of batch 3. It hasn't been processed yet. We sent it yesterday, the follow-up message of the multisig community wallet and all that stuff. So we are not hoping. We believe that the explorer would do the right thing. And as the explorer mentioned in his like first message, over here, that he, she, or them, they're like, philanthropists, and they want to donate into charity and all that stuff. So that's what we have been also doing. So as a community, that's what we have been doing. We have also chosen a community, like a charity, where we can go ahead and donate this. So we are doing it through this. Like, if anyone receives like funds and stuff like that, they can always go ahead and donate it to charity water. That's what we have selected, and that's what we have announced within the community. If you just go to Cashio's Discord, I have announced this couple of a couple of days ago. So as you can see, charity water, so on and so forth. Why did we select charity water as the donation, place where people can go ahead and donate? And I have also gone ahead and donated it, and so did Joker as well, one of the community members and the multi-sig members. So we have donated just to, signal that we actually mean it, and we actually do mean it because if we get back the 10K each, which is approximately around like let's say around like let's say 10K each, so whatever that amount is, probably a bit more, probably around like 15.3, so that's around 4, so around like 29 million. Okay, so once that amount is reimbursed to the community, we will distribute that to all the claim victims and like to the genuine claims. So that's the plan, and we hope they do that. If they do that, we are going to donate even more towards his philanthropic cause. He mentioned like, accounts less than 100K has been returned. This was his first message, and all the other money would go to charity. In this case, right now, he cannot do it because he or she or explorer cannot do it because this wallet is being tracked by analytics too and by law enforcement. So, and no charity will take this. Even if they take it, we can track it and we can request it back because it's stolen fund. It's exploited fund. Nobody will take it. So I mean, we propose to the Cashio Explorer that we are going to do this in the right way. So that's why we set up the multi-sig wallet, and also we have mentioned this on chain as well. And if you take a look at the second last message before the multi-sig, we mentioned that hey, this is to kickstart this philanthropic request from the Explorer. We went ahead and like we're going to make all these donations to charity water slash crypto, and this is the Ethereum wallet which can be found in the website. So this is the website where we are doing this, charitywater.org/crypto. Okay, slash crypto. So that's what is going on. So if you go to this website, to this link, and this is a very, I know these people in the sense they're very genuine people across like crypto, and they've been here for a long time, so they're very trustworthy people. 100% of their contributions goes directly towards like towards what do you say, towards charity and to fund like clean water. As you can see over here, we are using the world's most advanced or innovative currencies to meet the people's basic need, which is water. Okay, and this is the Ethereum wallet which we donated to. But anyways, so moving on. Okay, so I'll leave the link and you can take a look at the analysis done by me, and also you will have all the Ethereum scan addresses. Nevertheless, this was a website where the team, where the Cashio and the Saber team and all the other teams, they are just doing some data analysis over here just to create like a summary of all the lost claims, all accounts was the summary, and so on and so forth. So you can take a look at that as well. So as of right now, we managed to recover overall like 38% of the claimed funds, and for all accounts, it was like 31% as of yet. We were able to recover the funds back. We hope like the remaining funds are returned back, which is approximately like as you have seen like 33 million over here. So we requested like 10K each. So we hope we truly believe like the hacker or the explorer sees the charity going from the community even before that they refunded as a positive signal. So that's why it's very crucial and very important because a lot of people are affected by this. And by the way, Sant and I, we managed to get back our funds in full from the team, from the Cashio team, from their treasury, so because we've worked we've worked the asses off, every day, like 16, 17 hours a day. He, in total, like at least like 32 hours a day put in by both of us to help the community to the entire process and all that stuff. So yeah, they and some of the members in the community was like, yeah, we totally deserve it, and and we received it. Nevertheless, like we are still tangled in this, and we want to make sure like everything goes right. We are still supporting this, and I am one of the multi-sig wallet signers. So is Saint, and we are doing everything what we can to get the remaining funds back, which is 10K ETH. Okay, so yeah, so that was about the what's going on with the Cashio exploit reimbursement. I hope you got a good idea of what's going on as of right now, and I'll keep you posted within this Medium article if I do any further analysis based on that. But I hope like this is the last one. We don't need another batch. Okay, now coming to the second topic, the rethinking of decentralization and regulated crypto. Okay, I just want to share with you a few thoughts by Santa Collecting himself, he's a beast, he's such an amazing person, like very thoughtful, the way he processes, and is amazing personality, okay? But nevertheless, he educates people about like crypto. He's also the winner of like, the Solana Squid prize, and I remember him from those days, and it was like a pleasure to just work with him, like in this whole Cashio process. And he was also one of the victims. So he Saint and we got the funds back, our funds back, and all the ones below like 100K, they also received all their funds in full. It's only the people above 100K and major losses who are suffering from this, and we are still negotiating that on chain. Okay, so he mentions like in this thread, I highly recommend to go ahead and look at this entire thread, but nevertheless, I'll link it as I mentioned, all the links. But he mentions helping Cashio exploit victims retrieve some of their funds in the last 30 months, some of their funds in the sense 38% of all the claimed funds, or all the claim refunds in the last month, made me rethink decentralization and some things about the Solana ecosystem. It really made me question whether it's worthwhile contributing to the space anymore. So I took a break. It's it's really like I don't want to play like victim's role. I just want to see both sides of the coins. What he's mentioning is absolutely true and critical. Critical not just for Solana ecosystem, but the entire crypto space and the Web3 space. Because if we don't regulate ourselves, there will be regulators who will make the law for us, and they will regulate our whole industry without even knowing, what this technology can bring, or how this technology can change lives and change the entire, thing of like society, the way we do things. So it's a lot about like decentralization, which is also questionable. Like he says, it made me rethink decentralization. It's very, very questionable. How can we call something like decentralized, when we host all these data and all these front ends into like AWS and all these sorts of like Web2 products and services like this tech stack. We are not decentralization, as I keep mentioning, it's like a spectrum, 0 to 10. Let's just consider that scale. 0 is towards like less decentralized, 10 is like most decentralized. Everyone is going to fall somewhere within that range. Okay, so that's why we got to think a bit more deep about when we use the word decentralization. But I know it's a buzzword and we can use it, and that's pretty fine. But and this issue is not just about Solana, it's about the broader crypto ecosystem and all the technologies to come, and that's what he mentions over here. It really made me question whether it's worthwhile contributing to the space anymore. My thoughts around this is like, it's very simple. Like the way some of the people we were actually trying to, we not actually trying, we both were the ones who were trying to help, like coordinate and make noise and go on social, at least get awareness to this Cashew exploit. And nobody else, like, apart from both of us, were actually doing that and coordinating with all these teams. So, and there were few people in the community who were suspicious that we are playing. malpractice or something like that. But if someone knows me, like they know that I'm a very transparent person, and I just love what I do, like, and I mean, it's shameful that they think about such people like Saint that like despite of us going so hard on everyone and like getting 31% or 38% of the funds back, we get these kind of talks from people, because these people, they haven't been, they just come around once in a while on Discord or on Twitter, and they say, oh, what have you guys been doing and all that stuff. And we're coming up with an like a process and all, like what we are accountable for, what were our contributions and so stuff like that. But the bottom line is, like we've managed to acquire back, or to the explorer has managed to return us back after all this negotiation, like 38% of the funds. And most of the people like are happy, I would say, or satisfied with whatever they got, because even the people above 100K, they received partial reimbursements. Okay, so it's not like someone got zero. Okay, they at least got something back. So I would say that would be sort of a success, I would say, in a way. Of course, it's not like 100% success, and that's we are trying to achieve every day, and yeah, so is mentioning, is it worthwhile to get all these crap from like people who don't actually contribute or actually have some skin in the game, and like trying to add value to the entire process of this recovery? It's questionable. So that's why he mentions, and it really took a toll on our mental process, and like our physical process, and also everything that we were trying to complement each other, like and trying to support each other in order to actually coordinate this best. And I think we like Sense and I knows this, that we have done everything that's possible. Like we had zero hopes and belief when we actually entered into the exploit and got tangled into the exploit, but we have got somewhere. We have gotten somewhere. We have gotten some level of success. And even 0x, if you can, I'll show you this. I'll show you this. Like I'll show you. If you go to the moderators channel over here, you don't have access probably, but like he mentions over here, so you will see. See, he mentions over here, thank you both for your hard work in making some people whole. Without you two, I don't think so the hacker would have returned any funds. Okay, so this is from the main developer who was developing Cashio. But anyways, I just don't want to beat my own drums, but like I just want like people stop thinking, or whatever. But anyways, we can't control that, and I'll leave it up to the people who want to think like that. Be my guest. Okay, so that's what I have. That's the message. But yeah, so we need to think about decentralization. We need to think about like how we can actually proceed to a much safer crypto industry. And that's why I made this video. I mentioned, like most probably DeFi will become KYC and all that stuff. And one of my friend, big shout out to Chirag over here. He's an ex-Catonian, is one of my batchmates, and amazing guy, and he mentions, like sorry to hear about exploit, and glad there was a refund process, etc. And he also mentions a valid point over here, or a statement. Like he says, if DeFi mandates KYC, know your customer, if you're not aware, it can no longer be DeFi. It can no longer be called DeFi. I totally agree to the sentiment. I totally agree to the sentiment. And that is exactly why we need to rethink, what is decentralization first? What are we trying to achieve? Where are we right now in that process, and so on and so forth? That's the end goal is decentralization, but are we decentralized yet? No. Is the whole tech stack decentralized yet? No, it's not. So I mean, I totally agree to the sentiment, and of course, like I mean, if it mandates KYC, he also goes on to say, like, I've come across like self-sovereign identity solutions on the blockchain, but not sure if it works. So basically, I guess he'd be referring to, like, the decentralized ID, which is nothing but like zero knowledge proof and all those sorts of technologies which you can use in order to actually verify it's a human and it's the correct person that is being identified over there. So it's not necessarily like you need to have like a KYC as the normal process, like, yo, show me your address proof, show me your this proof, show me your that proof, and all that heavy KYC. It's like minimal KYC just to verify that whether you are a human, whether we are like, a genuine person, and so on and so forth. So there'll be all these decentralized identity, that's what it's called. And yeah, I guess like it'll be coming through like zero knowledge proof. So for example, zero knowledge proof, as an example, would be something like, let's say you go to a bank and you ask for a loan. Let's say you need $1 million worth of loan, and the loan manager asks you, like, they say, hey, well, how can I loan you like $1 million? How much? What's your net worth? Now that's a private information. What's your net worth? You can't tell the exact amount, but you can certainly select a range. Let's say the loan manager says, hey, is it between 100,000 to 10 million, 10 million to 100 million, 100 million to, let's say 500 million, 500 million to 1 million. You get the point. So he gives you this range, and you can select on any one of the range. And, since the loan manager is just like the one of the base operational level like employee within the bank, he or she doesn't have that authority to actually check how much do you have in the bank account, or maybe they do have. But anyways, he or she needs to go ahead and consult another superior who is in charge, who has the right access in order to give that information and validate whether my information or my selection of that range of my net worth is valid or not. Okay, net worth in the sense I'm referring to the amount in the bank account. Let's just say. So that's called like zero knowledge proof. You don't give the answer directly and precisely, but you give like a range. You select a range, and this range and all these is called zero knowledge proof. Just Google it, and you will find lots of amazing, research based on this. It's pretty insane, and all that. So those will come into place. And in terms of like if DeFi mandates KYC, the thing is, I'd highly recommend go ahead and read these two articles, okay, which I will also link within the description, written by Andre himself. As you know, he's one of the most prolific DeFi builders or DeFi devs that I've ever seen until this day. Okay, so he's built amazing products. Of course, like there are critics, and there are always people who agree, not agree, like see his point of view. And I'm one of this person. I do see Andre's point of view as always, like I've always done it. And he's a very detailed person, but nevertheless, he's written some insane two articles in the last week or so. Okay, so I would highly recommend go ahead and read through that. One of them we touched in our previous video, so make sure to go ahead and take a look at that. But nevertheless, just read through this short medium articles. As you can see, 2 minutes read, 2 minutes read, and you will actually understand what he's trying to say. But nevertheless, if you want to go ahead and actually flush out and try to understand what he actually thinks about those, what's going on in his head, like in Andre's head, you can definitely go ahead and like, check out his YouTube video that was he featured in like Delphi Media's like YouTube channel. So just Google this. Anyways, I'll link you the video in the description, so you can watch this, and you will understand how he is thinking through. And it's a very reasonable perspective. I don't see any like obstacle or challenge. Of course, there's different sorts of things, like, it talks about like regulations and like, regulate crypto, and all that stuff. See, what I what I think, or like, what I believe is like you cannot regulate a protocol. a protocol, okay? Because protocol is global. It's just on the internet. It's just like TCP/IP. It's just like the internet. You cannot regulate that to the extent that the regulators or policymakers or lawmakers actually want. What you can do is you could regulate the people, because people are based in various jurisdictions or various countries. Okay, so each country or each jurisdiction, they have their own laws and regulations. So based on that, we need to actually go and work with this with the authorities to make sure that there are right laws and policies created out of all these technology, because you and I, we know that this crypto is not going anywhere. In fact, it's just, keep growing, because people are in this. It's very interesting. It's once in a lifetime sort of a like event that happens to the world, and I think it's happening for the good. But we can't have all these exploits and hacks and Ron and Breach going and losing out like 600 million, 625 million. Cashio goes out for like 52 million. And if you need a list of all of these, you can definitely always go to Wrecked News, where you will find the latest and the best, all the wrecked scenes. So these are all these exploits, and this doesn't look good when people in policies or regulations or in this government institutions, let's say, or bodies, um, go ahead and look at this, because they'll be like, hey, there's no security for the end user, for the customer. Why do we actually need this? So that's why, that's why I mentioned, we as an industry, we need to regulate ourselves, because we know best what is right for this industry. Why? Because we have used it, we know the potential, and we need to engage. We need to engage. Each and everyone's responsibility is to engage in the right way. Don't just go ahead on Twitter and yell at all these policymakers or lawmakers. Try to understand their perspective. Not that I'm supporting them. I hardly can believe I'm supporting regulations. Like I mentioned, you cannot regulate a protocol. It's global, okay? What you can do is you can build a framework for crypto to be regulated crypto, okay? Use crypto, you can use whatever you want, but it'll be in a regulatory within the frameworks of regulations. Okay, so and that's why I mentioned like a light KYC, and like let's say if you want to use Uniswap or like whatever Compound or like Solana or any dApps on Solana or any other thing, Saber, whatever you call it, you go ahead and you connect your wallet. Right now you don't need to connect your wallet, but in the future, what I imagine, what I believe is much more better is like there needs to be some level of like decentralized identity verification once you go ahead and start using this consumer dApps. And once you try connecting your wallet, it will identify by all these sort of like tags, and like because you have these options to tag the wallet, so they will identify who this person is, and and so on and so forth. And of course you have AI, ML, and all that good stuff in the technology, which you can use this to detect fraud. And it's far more better. It's much more transparent, and it creates a very open and inclusive economy. Currently, like to open a bank account, man, shit, you gotta have your, I don't know, all your history, geography, prove like where did you even get this $1,000 or like whatever. It's your money, man. You just earned it by working, like so I mean, it's no question about that. So it's like really hard for a lot of people, majority of the people, to get these sort of like banking services. We are privileged, we in this like cities, we are privileged, and but there are a lot of people who are not even included. So once they are not included into the banking and all these financial system, once they don't have access, which crypto provides, by just having your cell phone or your mobile or internet on your phone or your computer, you open up more opportunity, you enable more opportunity for people and for the world. And is that good for the countries and the world and GDP and all economies? Of course, it's good, because it's just going to bring in more people into it, more workforce into it, more brain power into it, and that's how we grow. That's how we add value to the world, and that's why crypto is very, very critical for the world to succeed this time. We can't fail, so that's why we need to have proper sort of like guidelines in order to how to go ahead and use this, because it just can't be like like anon people and anon devs. You don't know who you're dealing with. This is not going to be mainstream in my opinion. Of course there are going to be outliers, but those are just outliers. It happens like everywhere. Like for example, like today we use cash. Most of like the what do you say, like criminal activities or black market, it happens in cash, because cash you cannot track it. Like physically can you track cash, where it's going, who hands over to whom, and so on and so forth. But in blockchain and in crypto and DLT space, you can do that because everything is on chain. So that is why you need to have a framework, and the regulators will love this, because they'll be like, oh, this is all the information is publicly available now for us. But instead of going and just saying, hey, we are going to regulate and shut down this protocol, which I think is like not possible, quite frankly. They need to create a framework how people can go ahead and use the services. Okay, like I mean the broader masses, not like the 4% of us who are currently using crypto. We are just 4% of the total population in the world. Okay, so we are in this bubble and this moat of ours, but we need to expand. That's when we get. But it's early, and I'll show you in the end of video why we are so early. Okay, nevertheless, let's process. And big shout out to Chirag again, once again, for like mentioning this, and that's why I got to share some of my thoughts, what I have. Of course, like I'm not saying this is the right thing. Of course, you can share your thoughts if you have any within the comments, and I'll be happy to pick that up in a different video. Okay, as always. Yeah, but yeah, so big shout out to you guys as well. All right, so yeah, so we covered this Medium article. We covered the video that Andre did with Delphi. And yeah, coming to the third topic. Okay, so we touched on like the stuff. Now we just going to look at the big picture. Okay, like usually I don't do TA because like I'm not like a TA expert, but of course I do have the basics right, and I understand technical analysis and on-chain analysis and all that stuff. Okay, so I mean I don't predict anything. Prediction is up to you, and whatever you do, you're responsible for it. Okay, I'm just sharing what I see. Okay, I'm trying to look at the bigger picture. Okay, as most of you guys also may be looking at the same thing. But here's what I see. Okay, so I mean, first of all, if you haven't watched this video, I've been mentioning this for a long time. Okay, so I mentioned crypto is early. Why? Okay, like I mentioned over here, this was a video which I published on 13th of Jan. Just Google this. I'll leave the link as well, so you get this video as well. But anyways, 70 views, 4 likes. Anyways, I don't care about all of that. But like people who watched it, they know like what my probabilistic thoughts were, and my forecast for 2022. Not that I'm saying this is exactly going to happen, but let's look at what I mentioned. Okay, would love to see markets at all-time high. However, I see VCs unlocking, venture capitalists unlocking from different projects. So that's why from January to now we see like a nice little drop. There was no massive inflows and inflows into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and there's also consideration of open interest and so on and so forth. But that was just what I mentioned. But I also mentioned a critical thing over here, which is very in layman's term. This is what it means. I mentioned like there are 23 discussion topics within this video, and one of it is here. Here is the number one. Okay, and let's reiterate the number one. And it's not like I started mentioning this on just January and like I started being bearish on January and stuff like that. I like to think rationally about my portfolio. Okay, what you do with your portfolio or what anyone else does is none of my business, but quite frankly, this is what I mentioned. Okay, so I mentioned, imagine if crypto markets go to zero or if it corrects brutally, would non-crypto people's life change? Okay, I'll show you why. Okay, I'll show you in a video why non-crypto people's life wouldn't change. I doubt that. Okay, it's gonna change anyone outside this 4%'s lives. Okay, if crypto corrects like brutally. Okay, let's say, and however, it would wipe out many of the 300 million people today in it. Okay, we are that 300 million to 400 million people right now who are crypto users. Forget DeFi. Okay, so I mean, DeFi is even niche than that as well. But is there potential? Of course, there is. Is there opportunities? Absolutely, no question about that. But let's finish the thought. Therefore, as you are aware, crypto is still young in that respect. Yep, it's filled with like great opportunities and different risk takers and risk tolerance. People can maximize the way what they want. They can trade even in a down market. So trading is like you can do it upside on downside as well. So I mean both ways. That was my thought back then, and not just back then. Back then is just like when I actually published this video, but I was like, speaking to my inner circle about all of this, and I finally decided I have to actually go and share this on my channel as well. But anyways, now that I'm reiterating this point again, okay? Imagine if the crypto market goes to zero or if it corrects brutally, would non-crypto people's life change? Ask yourself that question. If the answer is yes, it would change non-crypto people. I think you need to go back and do some more homework about crypto. And if you think yes, it is not going to impact the people outside crypto, I think you're right. Okay, because crypto is a very niche industry as of right now. So even if it goes to zero, nothing is going to happen. But am I saying it's going to go to zero? Absolutely not. And that is why we are going to look at the bigger picture of Amazon and Bitcoin. Okay, let's go to the weekly chart. Okay, I'm not going to do serious like TA and all that stuff. I'm not competent enough to do that, but I have different indicators which tells me that we are already in the bear market. But anyways, like not now. I mean, from before. Like I mean, this. But anyways, so does that mean like we need to sell all our portfolio and everything, like and just sell it and take cover? No, man. I mean, people were around here when people bought like in 3,500, BTC. Do you think they're going to sell right now? It's no point. Some people bought over here at 69,000. Do you think they're selling over here? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? So, not who knows. I mean, of course, there are people selling and buying, but nevertheless, like I think it's not optimal to sell right now because the market already like covered like how much? Almost like 50% is already corrected. So like I don't see any like point right now to go ahead. Now, how do I fix this? Okay, so there you go. So there you go. So okay, now this is irritating. Bear with me, like I said. Okay, anyways, so taking a look at the weekly chart, okay, on Bitcoin. Let me just go ahead and do this and do the I no, come on. This is not what I wanted. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. Okay, so if you look right now, Bitcoin is around like 40K, let's say. Okay, so I mean, but let's take a look. Let's minimize the log thing and just let's go to the linear chart. Okay. So if you see over here, like I mean, if you see over here, like I said, I'm not like okay. So if you see over here, this M, okay, this M, okay, this is the pattern what's been forming, and Bitcoin has been around since like 2009. Okay, so 12 years, let's say. Okay, so and now let's go to this is the Bitcoin chart, and you saw that M. Okay, now let's go to the Amazon chart. Okay, so let's go to the Amazon chart right here. Okay, so okay, but anyways, yeah. So this is the Amazon chart right here. Okay, so let's see if we can get rid of this. Okay, anyways, never mind. Okay, so this is where we are with the Amazon chart, and let's see if we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay, there we go. We have okay, okay. There you go. Okay, so yeah, this is what you can see. This is the Amazon chart right here. Now, this is Amazon today, okay? This is Amazon today. But you come and you see this, you see this M pattern, what happened in 2000, like just before, like during the dot-com bubble, what people call, or like the dot-com generation, in the stock market. This is what is happening to Bitcoin right now. You see that M right there? Like, forget the big upside, you see the M right there. That M that you see over here. Hey, come on. Okay. Now this is okay, this one. So you see the M that you see over here? This is the M, in my opinion, what Bitcoin is doing right now. Okay, that is the M what Bitcoin is doing right now compared to like the stock. Why am I comparing it to like this 1999 and 2000? Is because of the dot com thing, and because in my opinion, there is a lot of like there's like, look at this. I'm sure you're aware, but anyways, let's actually take a look at the data in CoinGecko. How many projects do you think is there currently like across crypto? Okay, this is just the listed ones on CoinGecko. As you can see over here, like where is this? There's like 13,352 coins, like, and projects and all that stuff. Do you think all these are like genuine projects, and all these will exist? Most of them will get wiped out, like at least, like, this is a conservative thing. At least 50% of them is just going to be wiped out, because they all are like, scams and exploit and rugged and everything, because they don't have a team, and they're just not motivated. They're just here to, like, make a quick buck and just go, So I'm not criticizing anyone, and making a quick buck is like whatever you want to do for your life. But yeah, so coming back to the chart, so this is my perspective, what I see, like, compared to Bitcoin. And you see the upside from there, like what Amazon has been doing, like, has done as of right now. And right now they're in a sort of a, like, see, this is the kind of like growth, at least in 2 decades, 100%. Like, I mean, I'm pretty confident that this is going to go. Look at this. This is approximately 6,000%, from that peak to this peak right now. So that's like like 60x, 60x. So that is the exact potential what I'm actually looking at into Bitcoin as well, So that is my that is that is what I see, So, and I just wanted to share with you. But yeah, you have your own. I'm sure, like, you have your own research and all that stuff, and feel free to do your own research as well. So, but anyways, and like I mentioned, I'm going to show you a video which will elaborate more why we are in this like so early and all that stuff. I'm sure, like, some of you already watched this video. If you haven't, we're just going to listen to it right now. So just listen to this right now. Okay, so that's what I mean. Okay, so Bitcoin and Amazon, that's what I mean by the third point. And you can also, I've mentioned this in my forecast as well, and all that stuff. And of course, like, you have the concrete TA, which is like a bearish flag. And that means, if you just Google like bearish flag, yeah, bearish flag pattern. That's what Bitcoin has been doing right now. Okay, so if you go, let's go back to Bitcoin, um, BTC. Okay, let's go to this. Anyways, let's take this. So let's go back to the log chart now. Okay, so that's what Bitcoin has been doing. So what's a bearish flag? Bearish flag is just basically this. When you're in a downtrend, let's see, when you're in a actually downtrend, but there is, like, people say there is a channel which is being formed over here. I can't see, look, yeah, see, yeah, this is kind of like, come on, man, Jesus. Okay, anyways, so basically, what that means is like this, so there is like a channel right here, and there is another channel right here. Okay, so which is being formed as you can see, but we are in a downtrend. Okay, so when that happens, when we are in a downtrend, but the trend is like slightly up right now over here, that's called a bearish flag pattern. Okay, so that's what we are seeing over here. Okay, so if you take a look at this, that's what we are. And generally the tendency according to TA and analysis and all that stuff, it means like, there's going to be a breakdown. That is what according to TA. Okay, on chain is always bullish. Okay, so on chain is always bullish. Always people are collecting and hodling and accumulating Bitcoin, and this is what we should be doing. And I'm personally doing the same. Okay, so that's what we need to do if you feel that's your time. But if you feel like, hey, you need to exit the market, I don't think so. That's a clever move, okay, or sell everything and just go, because right now it's already too late. And but yeah, I mean, is this certain? Is this 100% like it's going to break down? Of course not. The other side of the coin is like, hey, if we get above like, this point that we see over here, like, just this 51K or something like that, if it goes above that and then it comes back and it just hits support, like, it just goes and comes back and hits support and then it goes, then yeah, it's in a bullish trend. But like, is that going to happen? Who knows? Is the breakdown going to happen? Who knows? We will see. So be prepared either ways. Okay, so but anyways, those are just some of my thoughts. I hope my doodling on the chart was sort of like useful. As I mentioned, like, no, not an expert in TA, don't intend to be one, but I am pretty aware of the basics and all that advanced stuff. Like a TA expert can speak whatever they want, and I will understand all of that. So those were some of my thoughts around like these three topics. And finally, I just wanted to show you a video to close it out. Um, Yes, let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Okay, you will see why we are so early. Okay, so these are two. Anyways, let's watch it. Okay, I hope.
Okay, how old are y'all?
$100
I'm
cash
22.
or a Bitcoin.
23.
Okay, what would you rather take? $100 cash or a Bitcoin?
I gotta say $100 cash.
$100 cash every single time.
Why?
Bitcoin is a little fake to me, not gonna lie.
I first of all don't know what Bitcoin is. Second of all, it seems like a scam. Like
But it's at $40,000.
No, straight
I don't give a
but
shit. $100
hey,
cash in my hand.
$40,000? What is that? Dollars. What are we getting? We're getting straight dollars.
Like $100 cash in my hand feels way more tangible and way more real than like Bitcoin. Like I don't even know what Bitcoin is. Like I don't.
Okay, how old are y'all?
$100
I'm
cash
22.
or a Bitcoin.
23.
So that is that 96% of the population, the non-crypto people. Okay, they don't get it. What does it mean? That means opportunity for everyone who gets it. Okay, so ask yourself, do you want dollars or do you want Bitcoin? Okay, for the moment you can say, okay, dollar is bullish, I want dollars, but like long term, like 20 years, 10 years, 20 years, like I've shown you, like Amazon, just imagine Amazon was $6 right now, trading at like 2,800, all-time high around like $3,800. Okay, so that's the perspective, 6,000% gain. So 60x, massive return. And I think Bitcoin is going to, like, I believe that Bitcoin is that digital gold or that pristine asset or collateral, which it is becoming, much more widely accepted. Africa just went ahead and one of the Central African countries just went ahead and made it as the legal tender, I believe, today. Central Africa Bitcoin. Let's see if we get it. I think it was just announced yesterday, but anyways, it was on the media yesterday. So, but let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Central African Republic adopts Bitcoin as a legal tender out on CNBC. But yeah, you see, and El Salvador already has it as a legal tender. They're doing Bitcoin bonds, and so on and so forth. I hope that works out. And Luna, as you know, like the Luna Foundation Guard has been accumulating Bitcoin in order to back the the UST stablecoin, the algorithmic stablecoin. aside from like even Luna itself. So Luna, Bitcoin, and they're going to add other L1 assets or L1 coins, and they're going to make that collateral bunch a bit more bigger. So those are some of just my thoughts for today's video. I hope it was informational, and yeah, let me know your comments. I would love to know them as well. As I mentioned, like if I hear any good questions or suggestions or anything like that, I would definitely cover it and explain it, if like how I did for like here in Chirag's. So I hope you have a nice evening, and I'll see you when I see you guys. Have a nice one. Bye now.